This is a transmission from Divine Mother, first and foremost, for my sons. Secondly, for every son who needs it. May these transmissions reach the hearts of every child who is longing for a reunion with Source. Speaking to both my sons and every son as individuals, I say to you, my dearest son, there comes a time in every young man's life when he is ushered into manhood, often ill-equipped, uninitiated, and too soon for a mother's comfort. Before the sure footing of his foundation of belonging and autonomy is securely set, you must surely know that as your earthly mother, I did my best to bring you fully into adulthood. But I myself never received that luxury, and alas, most grown humans walking the earth today never made it into emotional adulthood. So the reality is, regardless of what circumstances we grew up in, the task of reparenting ourselves belongs to us now, individually. I would like to give you a framework for understanding the unique journey that you are having in our world today. There is a collective wounding between mothers and sons, passed down from eons and millennia. It's the result of the repression and persecution of the divine feminine, first within men and eventually within men and women alike. We are a civilization that projects its shame and weakness onto the feminine. And this wound has manifested the socialized control, rape, domination, and deprecation of women by men. Men taught to fear, trivialize, and diminish the attributes and strengths of the feminine within them, and then projected outwardly towards women. The abuse of which then became an unconscious rejection within mothers of their own feminine nature and an inherent distrust of the masculine, passing down this trauma to their sons and daughters. There is an unconscious distrust within every man of women, and boys and men cannot help but to project this onto their mothers and their partners. And there is an unconscious distrust within every woman of men. And mothers and women cannot help but project this onto their children and their partners. No one is to blame, and everyone is to blame. Blame and shame are dead-end streets that never lead us to healing the actual wound. So to heal, We must rise above the place of victimhood. We must see beyond the polarity of victims and perpetrators and reach for the grace of unity that holds all views and all truths together. The world today and all of its chaos and destruction, deception and disconnection is the result of a species healing this great and vast wound collectively. And whether we want to or not, life is speaking through eons of time and space, whispering, "It's time." So let it be time for us, you and I, to heal this wound within us, that we may contribute to the collective healing thrust upon us all. This collective wound manifests within each of us, in some as shame, in some rejection, in some sexual dysfunction, abuse, or repression, and in some still self-punishment or self-hatred. Many carry many or all of these collective wounds. It is the deep-seated feeling that something is off, that things are all wrong, and that we as a species are off course somehow. It is the sickness of separation that is the root of our ills. Feeling separate from and or out of favor with Divine Mother and or Divine Father. It is the doctrine of our religions and socialized behaviors, especially in the West. And because we feel separated inside from God, from life, from love, from belonging, from blessings, from favor, it's a collective belief easily swallowed and reinforced. And this reinforcement is the entangled web in which we now seek to cut ourselves from. Allow me to bring forward a heartfelt message from Divine Mother to guide us all during these great times of change. My beautiful, magnificent, and powerful Son, the higher truth I transmit to you today is a recalibration for your human ego to reorient yourself back to me, back to life. And in order for you to understand with your mind that which your heart secretly knows, we must speak of the architecture of the soul and the process it follows to come into form. You are not, nor have ever been, separated from me, from whatever you call God or source, love or life, abundance or favor. Before you were born into your human body, your soul was part of a divine team, designing and mapping out your journey into form, your destiny. You are the architect of your own human experience. For some hearing this, such a statement elicits rage and or deep sadness. And with a burst of enraged disbelief, one might say, Why would I ever create such circumstances? That's ridiculous. And to that, I would say, why indeed? First, this angered response is evidence of how unconsciously victimized you feel from this wound of separation. And your anger is the holy vehicle that is guiding you to become aware of this. And it is asking you not so politely to see it, to feel it, to address it. Because until you bring what is unconscious into your awareness, it will drive your life and control your experience of it, literally through the chemistry within your body. The only answer I can offer you to this question is that the answer can only be found within you. No one outside of your higher self can answer this question. Yet asking it over and over and allowing it to propel you forward in your own hero's journey until you reconnect with that higher part of yourself and feel the answer. This is the purpose of your life. This is your destiny. When you come from unity, from connection to source, from knowing yourself as a creator being, endowed with the divine attributes and permission to create freely within the worlds of form, what you plan out for yourself from that perspective seems like not a big deal. But once in form to your human personality, under the veil of forgetting that you also agreed to, it is a very big deal indeed. Some of the early life experiences that many of us have endured have been torturous. Take heart in knowing that your suffering is sacred but not special. In fact, it is suffering that unites all of humanity as one. As such, it is worthy of our highest respect and compassion. So you see, my son, that your fears, your shame, your guilt, your feelings of unworthiness, and perhaps the belief that you are not loved or not supported, these shadows are the seeds that have been planted within you as divinity within form, for you to explore and discover your own unlimited divine nature. You are the seed, the garden, the water, the light, and the empty space in which all darkness is explored within you, is witnessed, accepted, loved, and transmuted back into the light of divinity that you are. You are not the totality of divinity, but a fractal of it. And in this journey of awakening, which is really just you remembering, you have many, many, many divine beings, both in form and on the other side, who are supporting you in your heroic journey through form. What the world needs to heal, my son, is love. Not correct beliefs or right doctrine or even right action, because right action comes from the heart and connection to the heart. And right action is very different for every individual, because our purpose and life's path is unique to us. And love is not something we can grasp with our minds, but it is a feeling, a physical embodiment that we come home to within ourselves. Feeling is healing. And so, your journey starts with acknowledging how much pain and suffering you truly feel inside from feeling disconnected to love, and your willingness to feel it. And this brings us to the commission to reparent yourself. The way back to love within you begins by becoming for yourself what you always wanted as a child. To do that, you must sit with yourself. You must become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. You must listen to the little ones inside you who are stuck at various ages because of various traumas and or invalidations of the self. You must give them the love, compassion, acceptance, and belonging they need in order to reintegrate with your main personality. This task of reparenting yourself is not as daunting as it may seem, for I assure you, all of life is designed to support you in this. I know it may seem the opposite is true, but take it on faith that this is simply a perspective you have been conditioned into that can be uninstalled, discarded, and let go of in progressive stages of self-growth, self-healing, and self-awakening. The Holy Spirit is the Divine Mother made manifest, and the Holy Spirit is the higher self, your own inner Divine Feminine, giving birth to your very form. So you see, it is impossible for you to be separate from me. As your very form, your body speaks to how close I am to you. You can only feel separate from me, and the journey of exploring separation and coming back to unity, this is the purpose of life. This is your hero's journey. And when you accept this, and when you call out to a divinity that is higher than yours for help, the Holy Spirit within all life shows up to support you in every way. But you are not aware of this support at the victim level of resonance. And your journey of reparenting yourself is how you raise your own internal frequency from the shadow or victim perspective to the gift within you, where you begin to see the Holy Spirit active within all life, and you begin to feel the support and self-worthiness that you didn't previously. And your internal patterns of fear, shame, separation, and self-sabotage begin to break down and fall away. Every human is on this journey. No one is immune. And while I'm addressing my sons and human men in this transmission, this is also for the inner masculine of every woman listening. Every human journey is completely unique, just as you are. Simply put, to feel the love and belonging you desire, you must learn to give it to yourself. No other source outside of you was created to do this. And any temporary fix that you get from a lover, a video game, a virtual reality, or your own fantasies can only be temporary. And only you can exhaust yourself in the external search until you become ready to get serious and sober to this commission to reparent yourself, to reclaim your relationship with your own emotions, which is to say, to reclaim your own inner divine feminine. Because it is the divine feminine that is the one guiding, and it is the divine masculine that is in service to it. When this balance is restored in enough individuals, the world will vastly change. We are seeing these changes upon us even now. No one is coming to save you because you don't need saving. All the circumstances of your life, no matter how challenging they may be, are lovingly applying the required amount of pressure needed for you to return to your own sovereignty and save yourself by extending the belonging, love, acceptance, nurturing, compassion, and patience you need to heal your wounds and reclaim your wholeness as a divine being within a human body. As your divine mother, I am always with you. Call out to me and to whatever divine mother and father archetypes you feel drawn to, whether that be God or goddess iconography, angels, religious saints, or nature beings. It does not matter. All paths lead to the one source. All of life, seen and unseen, is with you and supporting you in your eternal success. And so it is.